What is up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about the GoPro Fusion 360 and is it worth $600? Do you think it's worth $600?
We'll get to it. Welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back to the channel. Sorry.
Today we're talking about the GoPro Fusion and is it worth $600? We bought it because it was going to try to replace multiple GoPros in the helicopter. Becky gets really motion sick, so she can't really film a lot. I can't really film, obviously, because I'm flying the helicopter. So we decided the Fusion might be a good addition to our kit.
It's one camera that basically has multiple angles.
You can frame it so you're looking out the front of the windows. You can frame it so you're looking back at us, out the side windows, all around, look straight up, look straight down. You can change the field of view, zoom in, zoom out, or you can animate it so that you can, in post, essentially create like a pseudo pan. So it's very versatile in that respect. It's one camera and we can kind of shoot one whole helicopter trip with just that one camera, and it's not just one view that's boring the whole time. So there's a lot you can do with it. I think that's the major pro for us.
But that definitely comes at a cost because in terms of post-production time, in order to render the clips so we can actually use the keyframes and reframe them, it takes a lot of time and processor power. We usually have to set it up and let it go overnight, and that whole process takes a long time.
The camera spits out two files, a front camera and a back camera. They have to be stitched in post with GoPro's software, which is a little bit clunky too. It's not the most eloquent workflow. Once you get that final file spit out, then you can bring it into your nonlinear editor and then reframe it, look around, change the field of view, animate everything. So it just adds a whole layer of complexity to your post work. Is it more work than if we had 5 different GoPros trying to cut between them? Probably about the same. You're trading one for the other.
We would normally let like a Hero 5 roll for a half hour until the battery died or until the card got full. But with the Fusion, because the clips are so clunky, we are very specific in what we shoot.
What you can also do is you can let it roll, but then in Fusion Studio, you can set ins and out points and then just export those parts that you want. But I kind of like to have all the options in post, so I'll just render everything out.
So one of the other pros to the GoPro Fusion 360, is that how it's said? Not a comprehensive review.
No, not a comprehensive review in the least.
Image stabilization is really good. The helicopter vibrates a lot, and so the Fusion is actually attached to the helicopter, and it actually irons out all of those shakes pretty decently.
With that said, we do have a special gel mount that dampens some of those vibrations, but it definitely has better stabilization than the old school GoPros that we've been using, the Hero 5. I don't know about this new Hero 7 stuff. I haven't checked it out yet, but people have been giving it pretty good reviews. We should try that though, because
we should try it. I'd actually be really curious to see how it makes out in the helicopter.
Yeah, the stabilization, I think it happens in software, like in the camera. The inherent nature of shooting at ultra wide angles, like with fisheyes, will naturally make things appear more stable. Between that plus whatever software they've got, they do a pretty good job of ironing things out. I also like too that they have some sort of accelerometer technology in it that knows the orientation of the camera. It's almost like there's a gyroscope in it, so it knows which way it's pointing at all times. As the helicopter's turning, it'll automatically still point north, and you can kind of get that cool, like, where it turns around you. I like that.
One of the cons though to the GoPro Fusion is the fisheye lens actually sticks off the camera versus like the Hero 5, it's flat. So you kind of do have to be really careful of it scratching. Every time we take it off the helicopter, we put it right back into the case. Where's the case at?
I don't know what the case is.
We're not taking the case, you just like put it.
We're not taking our own advice.
Yeah.
So the stitching process, while it's cumbersome and it takes a long time, it also is not perfect. Sometimes you can see stitching artifacts. I feel like when they calibrated the camera, they made it everything at infinity would stitch nicely, but anything close to the camera doesn't really stitch nicely, and that's just part and parcel of the reading parallax. That's
one of the downsides to having anything close to it or filming inside a thing. I feel like when it's on a stick, it's a different story, because like you said, there's nothing really close to the camera. You
may have noticed that the camera is tilted forward a little bit, and the reason why we do that is so that the stitch line falls right on the axis of the bubble where the lines are naturally in the windows in the helicopter. So it's not as noticeable, but sometimes you can see my arm, you'll see like my arm's kind of cut funny where it crosses that line. What could GoPro do to improve this product? This may not be realistic due to battery concerns as well as processor power. If they could have a camera that would spit out a fully finished stitched video,
say that 5 times,
ready to go right into your editor, that would be amazing. Also, if they could have the ability to stream live 360 video, and that's probably the limitation is because they don't actually stitch the video in camera, but I think that would be a game changer. But yeah, overall, great product. We'll say like 3 out of 4 thumbs up.
Okay, 3 out of 4 thumbs up.
It's not perfect.
It's not perfect, but it's great.
Yeah, if you take the time to edit with it, It's great. I think it adds something to our videos.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think it adds an angle that we normally wouldn't get. It feels a little bit more like you guys are riding in the helicopter with us because you're getting the kind of same view that we're getting versus just like whatever I'm shooting at with the A7S. For us, it was worth the $600 because we're getting multiple camera angles with one camera. So it's really good when I don't have the camera out to have the ability just to hit record and record a landing or record a cool area, and we get like the multiple angles.
It doesn't replace having a real standard DSLR shot that just looks really nice and cinematic. It doesn't really have that feel, but I do think it serves a different purpose, and it's just another tool in the toolbox, and I think combining it all, it serves its purpose, and I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments below if you guys have any questions about the GoPro Fusion 360, whatever it's called. That's it for us, so if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when we post new videos. We'll see you on the next one. Okay, ready? Don't put your arm around me.
Why? Don't put your arm around.
Don't touch me.
Loving wife.
I love you. You can't slouch like that. It looks bad.
I'm scratching my toe, Becky.
This is what it's like to make it hot. Well, you Jesus! I will murder you in your sleep.
Oh, let's give you a thumbs up.
This is what it's like to make YouTube videos with your husband. Your hair looks really soft. Okay, sorry.
It is quite soft.
I just love you.
Thanks.